You know me, I have to jump in or else
Please,
I'll never get in.
It's your show.
I know, but you know how we are. We can talk forever. I think what I was asking about was more of the spiritual side of it. For instance, how has life changed dramatically for you in the last 10 years? How do you see the world changing? I think that's what I was saying, because looking at you, I know that you are on top of your health. And I know that you cut back on the sugar, which I must say you look great as a result of.
I used to look like a big Hershey's Kiss.
Well, you look great now.
And I had one of those neckties that said Hershey's.
Because you really like chocolate, and you have this thing about ice cream. But I was speaking more, we won't talk about that right now, but I was speaking more about just the way the world has changed. Like now we have, everything is computers. Everything is about a computer. It's almost like if you don't have a computer, you're not in the work field anymore. Well,
here's a marvelous little story that I was just told yesterday. At Christmas time, a boy received a little basket of toiletries for, I guess he's a teenage boy, and his friends or family wanted him to know what cleanliness was all about. And so he received a little basket of, you know, one of those scrub sponge things, and of a bar of soap and shampoo, and I guess a little cologne. But he took out the bar of soap, Yvette, and he says, "What's this?" And the idea is the situation has changed. People are not using bars of soap. What are people using?
Liquid soap.
Liquid soap, you know. And when I get depleted on shampoo, I always go and get the bottle of detergent for dishes, because I figure who's going to know. And I like the smell better. But the boy had no idea what a bar of soap was. And we've even seen within the last 5 years, we've seen how cell phones have changed. But you know, somebody once asked me on a job interview, they said, "Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?" And I broke down in tears. I broke down in tears. I didn't get that job. I broke down in tears in front of this panel of 4 people, because all I could think of is, 5 years from now, where's my house, where's my car, where's my stable of horses, where's my swimming pool, and where's the tennis court? Well, it ain't around me, I'll tell you that. But the epiphany I got, and I only use that word once a year, so I can't use it again until next year.
It.
But the insight I got was this: you know what? 5 years from now, because they asked me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And I thought it was all those external things.
Yeah.
I said, after that, it was always, you're brilliant after the fact. In fact, I'm going to be terrific after they wrap this particular show. I'll think of all the wonderful things I never said. But, by the way, nice shoes.
Thank you.
After that, now all the folks at home are going to be wondering what your shoes look like, but they are cute.
Thanks.
I said to myself, you know, 5 years from now, I want my personhood to be wiser. I want my personhood to be more compassionate. I want my personhood to be wealthier in its experience, maybe not necessarily with money, because I have a very hard time hanging on to money. I can make money well, can't save it worth a hoot. But I want to be a wealthier person, a happier person. Happiness is an inside job. I want to be a person who's more optimistic, and I made a list one day of the 10 highest fears in my life. For most people, and I know you're a member of Toastmasters, for most people, their greatest fear is getting up in front of a group of people and talking. But you know what my #1 fear out of, and that includes death and going to the dentist for me and being impoverished, my #1 fear was not being able to be resilient, to bounce back, to come back, to say, let's try again. And that's what life is. This, even after you take another breath, you say, let's take another breath again. Let's try it again.
Get back up on the horse.
Right, and those people who may not have had a good semester this past semester, or they may not have had a good job experience, go right back into it. What is the alternative, to sit in your room, suck your thumb, and stay in bed. I mean, I've done that. I went through a great depression period. Well, it heals. But then we have to get over the healing and, as you said, get right back on the horse. And it's all right to be depressed, and it's all right to take time out. Yeah. But I think the most important thing I want to be is a better person, and I pray that I'll always be resilient. Mm-hmm. You know, lately I've been doing a lot of writing, and there was one point where I had gone to a seminar at UCLA, and it was for writing scripts. And I thought, I don't know why I'm going here. I'll never write a script again. I've had it. You know, I've written like 20 scripts. But isn't it amazing that the life force in us, whatever that magical muse, that power, that talent, that God, whatever it is that keeps us doing what we love to do. Wow. And whatever anybody does is important. You know, Gandhi said, what you do may not seem important to you, but it's very important that you do it. Mm. And I work in a particular place where we have a huge staff, and none of us could serve our clients if it weren't for each other of us. The engineering people, mm-hmm. the housekeeping people, the cooking people, the front desk people, the computer technical backup guys.
Are you speaking of our current job?
Well, I think that's where I work.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Have you heard anything that I've been fired recently?
Hey.
They always send Yvette. When you're fired, they send Yvette to bring you on a talk show, and then she embarrasses you in front of thousands of people by saying...
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Yes, however, that's very profound information right there. I mean, I really respect what you're saying.
How are you different than you were from the 20-year-old girl? And I know you don't like having the ball thrown back at you at this point, but no. What one thing have you really seen? You told me that you don't like to suffer fools for a very long time.
But you know what? We're going to save that because the next show is going to be...
Ooh, that's a bait for all you people. You'll say, yeah, we got part two.
Part two, we're going to throw it back in my corner. I'm more interested in you right now because you're my guest.